this is what it is. It's
Yeah.
forgiveness. You know, it's really maxing out sort of the result from, you know, the miss hit. There's not been too many misses yet, has there?
No.
But either driver, to be fair, whether it's Max or 10K, it's very consistent, isn't it? All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Driver release day, Mikey boy.
Big one.
PING 10K G430 extension of the line. Not a brand new driver in its own right, but an extension to an already successful line.
It is cool to see there's lots of carbon coming from the PING family now, all the way on the bottom. This has been, I guess, highly anticipated. Everyone heard about this 10K driver, and they're like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be TaylorMade? Is it going to be PING? We got it right here. And there's a couple other brands that are claiming, you know, this, 10,000 MOI, but going back to the kind of G400 times.
G400 Max.
You know, that was, I mean, it was great for us back in the day, fitting with it, super high MOI. Kind of feels like they've gone back in time with modern technology that's in the good old G430.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I'll be curious to sort of sit back and see how the marketing of it is absorbed by the consumer and what the consumer thinks that they're getting when they read and hear about it. Because to me, you know, breaking the barrier of 10K feels like the 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
I think it's marketed like the 4-minute mile. It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's been done several times before. PING have done it themselves before. So this is not necessarily a new thing, but it's something they've came back to. Like we said, G400 Max was the last time PING done it, but it's now layered in with other technologies that they've been very successful with from G430 line, spinsistency and all these things. And I do think spinsistency maybe is the catalyst to bringing this back, because they've done such an amazing job of having this variable roll in the face that a mishit now doesn't spike through the roof and spin. Yeah. So you can kind of manage those spin windows and give you, you know, a real forgiving package, an extremely forgiving package. Trying to decide whether to say this now or save it, but may as well say it now. To me, maxing out the MOI, over 10,000, you know, cubic centimeters of forgiveness vertically, or 5,000, over 5,000 vertically and laterally. To me, and having to do that without taking away any, or with taking away fitting sort of elements, like G430 here, movable weight. Yeah. I'm not sure it's worth the trade-off of doing it. I don't think pushing the MOI up, if you were to do it while keeping all of that stuff, I'm in, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I agree.
Taking it away and doing it, I don't know if I'm buying what you're selling.
Yeah, I mean, again, back in the day, G400, obviously drivers were still, you know, adjustable just as much as they are today. But I can see where you're going with that. I think there's some things in the Max that I wouldn't want to sacrifice or get rid of for that higher MRI. I mean, that Max driver for us is, you could hit it all over the face and get away with it. So interesting to see the trade-off.
One of the things as well with that head is to make it over 10,000 sort of MOI, it needs a 28 gram weight in the back. Yeah. Right in the back. And there's only one weight. And it's movable in terms of it can come out. You can put a 25, a 22, 19, but you decrease the MOI. Correct. Right, so you do change the properties of the head and you take away a little bit of what it is. I think it might be a fraction one-dimensional. I agree. From that perspective.
Yeah, I agree.
And moving the weight all the way to the rear, we sort of know that sort of when we get that sort of effect, that tipping effect, especially when you're in dynamic motion and the shaft wants to sort of, or the head wants to lead the shaft anyway, and we start adding dynamic loft, we start adding lower strikes, lead us to things like loss of ball speed and high spin. Yeah. That's, I guess, where spinsistency is going to come into. But it's a roundabout way of saying, I'm not sure how necessary this was to do that, to pour resources and put, you know, their efforts into this for, you know, a year or however long left this, you know, G430 line will stand. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like I said, I think this is almost call this like a concept driver. They've released it to the masses. They're going to see how it does. They're going to gather information from that, and who knows, maybe this time next year there's a G400 or G500, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Yeah.
And they've learned a lot from that. They can kind of put the 2 and 2 together. If you put 2 and 2 together and you had the high MOI out of this driver, this would be a tough one to beat.
Yeah, I can almost say if you put carbon fly wrap on G430 Max, had some ability to sort of shift the weight, and like I would rather take more of that into this
I agree.
model. But obviously they're not going to do that. It's only a year old. That's where I'm like, was that ever necessary? Let's hit it and find out. Let's see what the numbers say.
Start with the Max.
Yeah.
Okay, Fries. G430 Max, 9 degree.
Yep.
Standard setting. Throughout this test, obviously, we're going to compare it to the 10K, but we should probably see a few heel strikes and toe strikes.
I'm going to show you some toe ones.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to give you that. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll see some. So we'll see thin ones, we'll see toe ones. I guarantee that.
We're not. Obviously, I want you to hit it in the center or hit it perfect, but I want to see how that 10K can fix those miss hits.
Okay, Michael, I'll miss hit it just for you.
Thank you.
Not because I have a dysfunctional golf swing.
Good swing.
That one felt nice. Yeah, so little toy, 7mm in the toe. It's not nothing.
No.
It's not nothing. Pretty decent.
I'll take it. Good swing.
It's very consistent, isn't it? Try to give you a heel banger.
Yeah, let's see it.
That's still pretty middled. I have a hard time with the heely ones, don't I?
You try heel banging it more often.
I know.
Straight down the middle, 310.
Toy.
Hard for you to miss with it.
Okay, the big boy.
10K.
Big dog.
Does it sit any different, look any different from the dress?
Yeah. Which is, for some people, will be quite nice. Just don't know the mix of people that have high speed that this will be good for. I know I feel like I'm erring on the side of negativity too much right now.
Yeah.
Who's it should be talking about who's it going to be good for, not who's it going to be bad for. But I kind of feel like not particularly slow speed because they don't hit it that far offline anyway. Not particularly high speed because my guess is the volatility on launch conditions. I think somewhere in the middle, if you're like 100, 105, and a little bit erratic, could be really good. Yeah, I feel like I hit that one quite nice, Mikey. Where's that strike?
A low toe kind of, 27, little spinny.
So this is the same loft. This was a good test because we're talking now about CG position, right?
Right.
CG being deep, CG being deeper. What does it do in dynamic motion to sort of manufacture dynamic loft? This would be quite good.
I think it went to the moon. 150 feet in the air.
Quite nice. I don't feel like I'm really hitting these that thin, if I'm being honest, Mikey. Like they feel really buttoned. I'm looking on that and it just looks like I've just thinned it. I need some Dr. Scholl spray or something like that it doesn't feel like I'm hitting it below the CG, put it that way.
Okay.
I don't feel the tilt of the head. I feel like I'm hitting it pretty much on the CG. And 146 efficiency with.
Yeah, 6 up on it, 14 launch.
Yeah.
Little spinny.
There's not really too many misses yet, is there?
No.
But either driver, to be fair, whether it's Max or 10K.
I was just gonna say again, it's just that lower strike spinny. It kind of eats the distance away from the driver.
Yeah. Didn't feel as low, but it was a bit more toy, hence the shape.
I mean, not crazy toe, but definitely on that side.
But focused on the height.
Definitely lower peak height.
Yeah, lower peak height. Let's change the delivery a little bit. I just think this is a high dynamic loft, high angle attack person.
Okay.
Right, so let's go into slightly different sort of swing territory here. bit more squeezy. I mean, that's probably 4.5 up in it rather than 6.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like. Felt quite nice, to be honest. Okay, so go to table a second. So angle of attack came down by, call it 2. Dynamic loft came down by, call it 2. Spin loft went down by 4. Efficiency went up. Go to ball a second. Launch and spin were better, ball speed went up. There's your window, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of like a spin loft window where you're going to get more out of this driver than you will if you're the high angle of attack bomber. That's quite interesting.
That fixed weight at 28 grams, does that limit your output from the driver as making it faster? Like obviously if you get rid of the 28 and go less, it's gonna get rid of the 10K.
We'll find out in a minute because I'm gonna hit mine.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do that. Because we think, you know, like if these drivers are catering and Max is more of an all-round driver, but this is what it is. It's
Yeah.
forgiveness. You know, it's really maxing out sort of the result from, you know, the miss hit. This is good on the miss hit for sure. And it's quite good for a squeezer.
Yeah.
I try to catch it a little higher in the head. I'm trying to kind of catch it like somewhere to get that spin down a little bit.
Interesting, you have to feel like you do a lot more work to bring that spin down, whereas, you know, 430 Max is just point and shoot.
Point and shoot all day. All day.
That peak height with the 10K is, again, and like you said, maybe it's for that fine window of speed kind of thing, but
let's try that. Let's go, okay. Let's make a new window. Let's go call it 105. Probably not 105, but certainly looked like it maybe came out a bit flatter. That's impressive. Look how straight that was for Toy.
So good.
Okay, so a little bit slower. 107.
107 isn't slow. Relax.
No, I know. That's lower effort, that's all.
Careful.
I know, treading on a fine line here. But like height-wise, see it fall into a nice window there?
So much better, yeah. That 125, 130 is scary because it just, when that spin kicks up. But now that you're in that speed window that we're looking for, that peak heights, I mean, I'd take that all day long.
I know. Yeah, I would too.
It's better.
Yeah. Like you have to say, like at that delivery, 2.5 up in 18, it works just like a dream.
Yeah, perfect.
Like a dream. Little bit short on horsepower.
Yeah.
Versus the Max for someone like who's swinging like at that speed.
Yeah, spin jumps up.
Yeah, and just for reference, right? Let's hit a couple with mine just for reference, because again, I wouldn't. It's nothing against, but it's just for somebody out there watching this who's at a different speed. Let's just have like a peek.
I want a slight necky.
Yeah, a little low. Just in that low window where I was hitting the ping, to be honest. All right, Mikey boy. Straight up, 10K versus Max.
Yeah, Max kind of did its thing, what we're used to.
I think that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I really did. I really thought if you kind of give it the same, which to the degree, the
Pretty
difference
close.
being, yeah, it's close, you know, a 1 degree more dynamic loft by the weight being far back.
A little bit more up on it.
Yeah.
Or less up on it with 10K, yeah.
There is a difference in obviously head weight. You know, it's you in order to access the sort of D3 swing weight that it comes at standard, you do need the Alta CB shaft that comes with it, right? I don't play that shaft; it's very soft on the tip. So from that standpoint, like there's club speed to be lost. Now it's very, very good on efficiency because it's got so much mass in the head, right? So it's I think it's 202 before sleeve. So it's pretty heavy. But if we just, again, back to the, the ball data, kind of in the same window, a little bit more spin.
Yeah.
But Max just wins everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
50 in the deviation, 2 miles an hour quicker, 10 yards longer.
Yeah, it's
wins everywhere.
That's what Max does. The dispersion's tighter.
Definitely. I really like doing this little test.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, let's bring it down a little bit to, you know, a speed that, you know, is a little more reasonable in terms of like, you know, not everyone can get to 107 by any means, but lots of people can now.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is like with your speed, kind of that 112 area, we saw with 10K just ballooned, right? And you lose a bit from it. Whereas you slow that speed down to, you know, more of a, I guess, I don't call it an average speed, but it's more that what probably our viewers are.
Yeah, eight or so miles an hour slower than what
you get that flatter flight, more consistent, and you can really see the 10K kind of go to work there.
Really like that. I mean, at that speed, 12 and 2500 is excellent.
Yeah.
You know, Cody was saying there when we were going like 107. You know, he was asking like, what's your equation, right? So 2.7 yards per mile an hour of clubhead speed. If you go to clubhead speed, we're at 107. Do the quick math for me, Michael. How many yards is that?
That's good. 291.
Yeah, right.
Very
so
good.
if you do, 2.7 times 107 is 291. We're at 290. We're right there.
Bang on.
But this is where it's interesting. And again, I go back to, you know, what I was saying at the start. Like, give me a fitted driver over something that's just designed to, you know, one size fits all.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to think that, you know, there's ever such a thing as a one size fits all. There's individual merit to every single head, shaft, grip, swing weight, length, all of it counts. And when you add up the marginal gains, you get 5 miles an hour ball speed, you get the flatter, more penetrate launch angle, you get the right spin, tighter standard deviation,
And look at the visual, look at the dispersion on that thing.
Yeah. And that's you know, that's it when it's good.
And I think a lot of people, like, I don't say people won't get fit to this because we will have this in the demo matrix, so you get fit to a 10K. I think a lot more people will get fit to a max. Some people will look at 10K and go, oh, it's just more forgiving, I'm gonna hit it better, I'm just gonna go buy one right away.
Totally.
Which is obviously not what we're preaching. We're preaching to get fit. You might get fit into a 10K, but the difference between a fitted driver and just what you think is forgiving clearly is not the best option right now.
I think, I think if your delivery works with it, to you, like you said, and it just, you know, in the fitting, great. If not, if you buy it off the shelf, I think you'll be right back in the fitting bay not too long later, a year and a half, 2 years, and you'll be looking for those yards back.
Totally.
I think that's the way it'll play out. But listen, it is a phenomenally stable driver. So, I mean, you can't take that away from it. We were hitting it in a bunch of funky places, you know, especially toy, low.
The low strike one for me was like, it didn't really move offline. You still got away with it. It was good.
And it just didn't feel like a mishit. It's like using a big oversized cavity back iron.
Yeah.
The mishit doesn't feel like a mishit. Every hit, strike feels good. So, quick little call out for the faders. Neutral driver for me in terms of lie angle, very upright. 7, so it's 4 more degrees toe up. So we know, guys, that is an aid to keeping the ball starting more to the left, right? It doesn't start offline as much. So if you struggle a little bit with the push fade, that will help with the start line a little bit on that. But like everything else, what do we say?
Go get fit.
Go get fit. Go get fit. Good driver, really, really good driver. I think the Max will still be the one. That's the volume play.
So good, that
should be the volume play. That'll be my message to our team. And you know, the 430 is still just such an incredible driver. It really is.
Yeah, might need to build one up for myself.
You're not really a bad driver of the ball though. Like, I think, because again, back to use the same driver, we use the same model. I don't think, you know, unless you're you struggle with the driving, like that was amazing because I didn't hit it great every time.
It's true.
But you can access like speed and a little bit flatter flight and all those other things as well. So yeah, I'm not sure you're the ideal candidate, I'd say, that needs like tons of help around the face. But you maybe, that's more importantly, we're talking to you guys rather than us two. So if this describes you guys, if any of this describes you, then we want you guys to be paying attention to these drivers, go in the bay, and obviously see if you can find yourself a few more fairways. It is meaningful, penalty shots, got to keep them down, but there's a balance, right?
Totally.
Speed, launch, spin,
100%.
there's a balance to all of that. So let us know your thoughts if you're interested in this. If forgiveness, if moment of inertia, the resistance to twisting is something that means a lot to you in your driving, we'd love to hear from you. No doubt we'll see a ton of people in the bay asking to hit it.
For sure.
Good stuff. All right, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.